What's up, everybody? It is Ryan 1988 or Justin back finally after like a long break doing streams. I always say it's like a minute, but then it's been like 3 months or something like that. So, but anyway, I am back with two of these awesome people that I'm joining or that are joining the chat with me, and that is Brian Goes Blue and Coco too. How are you both doing?
We're great. Thank you for having us.
Awesome.
Oh, you're welcome. Like when I was thinking about doing streams again, like you two were two of the first that like popped in my mind because I had so much fun the last time we got to do a live stream together.
Oh, yeah.
So it was a blast, absolute blast. So if you guys have not subscribed to their channel yet, I'm going to make sure to put their link down below. But definitely go subscribe to them. If no one knows about your channel, talk about it real quick. So talk about your channel. What's it about? And get started with that.
Well, basically, we just record either in this room or we do movie vlogs and stuff like that. Just pretty much anything physical media that we pick up, we'll show off. Or if we go to like a horror convention, we'll film a video for that. We've been going to the movies a lot recently, so we'll shoot like little spoiler-free reviews after we go to the movies. So that's always been fun.
Yeah, that's been a lot of our recent videos.
Yeah.
And
occasionally we'll do like an unboxing or something like that too. So just a little bit of everything. Pretty much centered around what we collect and what our passions are. So
yeah, we're gonna start doing some more like different like physical media. Like we're gonna try to throw in some vinyl here and there.
Yep.
We both have a lot of cool shirts. Brian has like all the cool baseball tees from like Fright Rags and Cavity Colors, and so we're gonna try to incorporate that into some of our videos too.
Yeah, definitely.
So yeah,
you don't see a lot of people putting their horror apparel on videos, you know?
Right.
No, not at all. It's been a long time since I've done it, so that's something I'd like to do at some point. Is start doing more of those like horror movie T-shirt vlogs or videos. So but guys. So we got a comment here. Might be a little rusty. Let me try to pop this up. Star comment. Is that what that is? All right, there we go. I think that's it. Hey, it ain't no butterflies. What's going on? How are ya? How are ya? How are ya?
Love that thumbnail.
I do too. But anyway, guys, before we get started, though, again, subscribe to Brian Goes Blue and Coco, two awesome people and two people I consider awesome friends. So, but anyway, so I am starting a new series called Retrospective and Memories. And this is going to be, exclusive to live streams. And tonight's first episode is going to be on Kevin S. Tenney's 1986 movie, Witchboard. So, which this is just awesome stuff. So, but anyway, and I'm so happy to have you both a part of this because we get to talk about this fun movie. And I know Coco, you just watched it for the first time, so we're going to hear your thoughts in just a moment about this. So, but ain't no butterflies. Let's see. Never seen a basket case before, but looked amazing.
Oh yeah,
it's brand new.
Yeah, it's brand new. Yeah, got it from Fright Rags.
I love Fright Rags. I got I just got RoboCop and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. So just pick those two up. But anyway, let's talk about the plot of this movie. If anybody doesn't know about it, it opens up with a party going on, and it's a group of friends getting together. You have three of the main leads in this. You have Linda, played by the late Tawny Katane. You have Jim, played by Todd Allen, and Brandon, played by Stephen Nichols. And there's a party going on. Stephen Nichols, Brandon's character, he brings a Ouija board over. And they're talking about the history of it. And they eventually start playing with the Ouija board. And they start communicating with a 10-year-old boy named David. And after that night, the Ouija board is accidentally left at Linda and Jim's house. And Linda starts communicating with this little boy through the Ouija board. And everything is going great at first. He's helping her find like her wedding ring or a ring of hers. Very friendly with her. And then things just start going out of control, and David starts, being cruel to her, and a lot of strange events start happening. And it's up to Jim and Brandon and a few others to try to stop David, and eventually at the end, rescue Linda from this spirit and stop this spirit. And you find out more about this. Is it the little boy David, or is it something else? Is it another spirit? So anyway, that is kind of the short idea of the plot. Hopefully I described it pretty well.
Yeah.
But yeah, let's first talk about our memories with it, or first time viewings, and what we thought. So I actually want to start with you, Brian. So when did you first come across this?
I first came across this probably in like the early 2000s. I had the Anchor Bay DVD of it. I think it was Anchor Bay that put it out, I'm pretty sure. But it was just like the cover of the actual the Ouija board. It didn't have the same cover to it.
Yeah. I remember that. I had the DVD too.
Yeah, I think it had one of those inserts like Anchor Bay used to have too, with their chapter selections on it. But yeah, I just like back in the day, there wasn't very many like Ouija board movies back then. They've kind of came out with like a couple of newer ones like Ouija and Ouija Origin of Evil. And a lot of people think that those are like the first ones, but they really weren't. The first ones that, were all about that kind of plot. But yeah, so I just watched it with my buddies and really enjoyed it. And one of my friends used to turn me on to all kinds of horror movies. So he showed me like Night of the Demons, and then he showed me this one kind of back to back, and we ended up really enjoying it. And I went out and bought it at a movie stop back in the day. So it was like maybe 2005 or 6 or something like that. So that was when I first got it. And then this version came around, I think 2014 was when this one came out. And it's one of the earlier Scream Factory editions. It was funny when we popped it in the player today to watch it with Coco for the first time. It didn't even say Scream Factory when it pops up. It just says Shout Factory.
Yeah, I noticed that too.
And especially because it's a Blu-ray DVD combo pack, they don't do that anymore either. So
no.
Cool. But yeah, it's just a fun flick I've always enjoyed, and one that I don't hear too many people talk about. It's very underrated.
Yeah, I agree.
There's all sorts of cool features on this disc too that I was watching some of those when we were done too. Like I don't know, it shows some of the cool how they did the special effects scenes in the movie and everything too. So
oh yeah, and it's a really it's a really good kind of lengthy documentary. I mean, the cast and crew come back and talk about the movie, and I love stuff like that. I love when movies like this get that treatment that they deserve. And it's crazy that we have like the collector's editions, and then we have the non-collector's edition. And with the amount of bonus features and love that went into this, it's it kind of, I always wonder why this never got like a collector's edition. Does that make sense?
Yeah, definitely. They could definitely re-release it with the slipcover and the poster, and then they wouldn't even need to add any more features to it. They could have just done that,
Oh, I agree. And real quick, let's see. Hello to you. So TB It Kid, hopefully I'm saying that right. But thank you for stopping in. And everybody watching right now, thank you for stopping in. Definitely say hello, and we'll answer some questions, interact with you guys throughout the stream. So but anyway, Coco, I want to go to you next, because this is the first time you saw the movie.
Yeah. So not really any old memories about it, because it was a first time watch for me. But I remember when we picked up, or when you got Witchboard 2, right? Yeah. Wasn't that like a newer pickup?
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's been a while.
Yeah, I picked it up about 6 months ago or so.
Yeah. So I do remember that and being interested in the whole premise of it. And actually what's funny is when he mentioned that we were going to be on your stream, I was like, wait, haven't we seen this before? Because I was thinking of Witch Trap. And
Oh.
I was kind of like thinking of that one. But no, I really liked it. I really love the whole like Ouija board thing. And I'm saying Ouija now because I said Ouija board my whole life. I think kind of everybody has. Like that's just how we thought it was pronounced. But that in itself always fascinated me. I remember having sleepovers with friends, and like my mom, we were forbidden to have one in the house. Like she didn't like that kind of thing. So, which was funny because we could watch horror movies, but we couldn't have a Ouija board. Ouija board. So going to friend's house and, you know, like lighting candles and having the room dark and like, you know, having it real spooky. I never had any experiences like that, but you know, you always like try to scare your friends, I feel like, and make stuff happen. So more on the movie, I just thought it was really well done. And I think, you know, and if no one out there knows, I'm a really big fan of The Exorcist. Like huge. And so I remember distinctly there was a scene where something was happening where they were discussing that, and or no, nothing had been said yet. And I turned to him and I was like, because when the two are talking about Linda, you know, using the Ouija board, and what was the term that they were using? When it like takes her over, there's like the
possession.
Well, but it was a different term that he used. I don't remember.
Entrapment, like possession, entrapment.
There you go. Yes, that.
Yeah, that was it.
When they brought that up, I turned to him and I was like, that's like Reagan. That's what happened to Reagan, and everyone always, I think, forgets that that's how she became possessed. And then as soon as I said that, like not a second later, the actor was like, "What are you telling me? I'm living with Linda Blair?" And I was like, oh my gosh! Like, that was a cool moment.
So, I love that.
I loved the whole premise of it, and you know, the whole backstory, and just I think I'm sure we'll get into this later, but I think that I saw Linda as kind of like she had that like you know, that motherly, warm and tender kind of like personality, like an empath, and so she was kind of like sympathetic to David's story, which really opened her up to the whole world of everything that ended up happening to her. So
oh yeah. Well, first of all, I'm glad you loved it. So that is awesome.
Yeah.
This is an underrated one, like underrated 80s gem that you know, I think when this Blu-ray came out, honestly, more and more people probably saw it that way, because you know, I remember getting the Anchor Bay DVD and it having like the really cool postcard that was shaped like a Ouija board, and you had like the little what do they call that, planchette?
Yep.
Yeah.
Card in there. Yeah.
And people are a fan of it, but I remember for the longest time I could not find it, and then coming across the DVD and buying it through Amazon. So you know, it was definitely one that, you know, that's still underrated, but definitely more underrated than. So I'm glad they have this Blu-ray so more people can watch it and talk about it. So
yeah.
But you know, my experience with this goes back to the good old mom and pop video store days. And I lived in Oregon at the time, and I was like 10 years old, I think.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And me and my older sister and some friends would go to this local mom and pop video store. And one of my favorite things about it was when you walked up to the big window, like the first section you would see is horror movies and a whole bunch of VHS tapes. And, you know, I saw Witch Trap for the first time. I saw Witchboard 2, Leprechaun, so many like obscure like 80s horror movies that, you know, some are now available on Blu-ray and some still aren't, and some don't even have a DVD. But I remember renting Witchboard with my friends and sister, and going home, putting on the VHS tape and loving it right away. And it wasn't until I got the DVD, I think in 2005, that I had seen the movie, revisited the movie. And I just remember as a kid loving it and remembering certain things about it. And then watching it again on that DVD, it's a fun time. It was actually pretty scary and pretty suspenseful. And Witchboard is like top 20 favorite horror movies for me. Like, I absolutely love this film. So, love the characters, love the music. It's got a great score and a great soundtrack and great director behind it. So, I adore this one. So, I'm glad you both love it. So that this makes it awesome that you guys are a part of it and we can talk about it. So, but anyway, let's get through these comments real quick, catch up real quick. It Ain't No Butterfly says, I watched it today for the first time, got it because of you. I think it's I can't pronounce this.
I think it's just hearing about it.
Yeah, so hearing about it. So I'm glad. I know we talked about it on Instagram. I'm glad you enjoyed this one. So, and then it did get a limited collector's edition in Germany. It came with a replica of the board in a wooden box, which I think I've seen a picture of that. And it's pretty cool. Pretty cool. So, and talking about Ouija boards, I was always too chicken to like play with one of those things. Like, I think after seeing this movie, I was like, no. And I had a friend of mine. She told me that she played with a Ouija board once, and there was actually some stuff that happened. So I don't know, but I definitely did not. I remember Target and what was it? Toys R Us used to sell them. So
I like the thought of having like a wooden one, like back in the older days. I remember the ones that I ever had where they were like the plastic, the piece was plastic with like a little, piece of plastic over the, like a magnifying thing.
This is Coco's mouse pad we got from a horror blog.
We came into the movie room to get set up for the stream, and I was like, "Oh my gosh, look! This is like what I use every day for work." And I didn't even you have something in front of you every day, and you don't really think of it or realize it.
Oh, I love it! I love that. All right, my buddy John's here. Hey, John, how are you? By the way. Again, if you guys have not subscribed to Brian Goes Blue and Coco 2 after the live chat, I'll make sure to leave their link down below. Definitely subscribe to them. Look them up. They are fantastic. And
yeah, thank you.
You're welcome. Two awesome people that I know. I'm happy to know. So
yes.
Ben says, I like bringing out a Ouija board during a party. That's when you know it's your. That's when you know you're at a party. Well, they do that in the movie. But yeah, let's see. We got. I always find horror fans are collectors on YouTube. It is because the horror genre films are more practical effects, and watching the films are dissecting how they did it and appreciate Groves. Hopefully I said that right. But yeah, that's the one thing about the YouTube community I love is like the horror movie community. And the physical media collector community out there, and the friendships that you make. So it's always fun.
Definitely.
Let's see. And then he says, and it is more subject matter and ride like aspect. I agree. So what's up, Jay? How are you? Now you're talking with Majestin. So how are you? Let's see. And then my older cousin showed me this film when I was like 11. Then he brought a Ouija board out. Needless to say, I still dislike him. All right. So the next thing we're going to talk about, and Coco, you brought this up, is, the character Linda. But we're going to talk about these characters. And if you haven't seen it, we're going to talk a little bit of spoilers. We're going to hopefully not spoil too much, but I definitely want to go through the characters, and I want your guys' opinions, and then afterwards talk about our favorite characters. So obviously we have Linda, played by the late and great Tawny Katane, which that's still heartbreaking. Like I think I teared up when she passed away because I got to meet her, and she was such a sweet, kind person. But let's talk about Linda. So what do you guys think about Linda as a character?
You want to go first?
You can go first.
Well, as I said before, I think she was, kind of had that motherly, I want to say mother nature, but yeah, that warm kind of demeanor, and that's kind of what opened her up to feeling maybe sorry for David and kind of being more interested in him. I was a little confused at the beginning of the movie, I'll say, with the dynamic of her and her boyfriend or fiance or husband. I don't think they were married, but I wasn't really sure at first who she was linked up with, because she's sitting next to the one guy on the couch, and I'm like, wait, is she with him? But then she goes in the kitchen and says, I love you to the other guy. So that was a little bit confusing for me at first, but then as the movie goes on, you know, we kind of get the character development and learn, you know, the relationships and whatnot. But I loved her. I think she was just great. I don't know what else.
I don't know. I felt like she was kind of like a character that wanted love and affection and a family, and you could tell that she really wanted. I mean, it's not really a big spoiler, but she wanted to get pregnant.
Yeah.
So that was a big plot in there, that she wanted that, and the fact that she always felt one-sided love from David, because she kept on saying that she loves him, and he never said it back. He'd always be like, I know. You know?
Yeah.
Like,
we kind of chuckled. I mean, I hate to say it, but we kind of chuckled during the movie when that was first said, because I think we were both kind of like shocked, like, oh, like she just said that, and he's like, I know. And it happened every time. I mean, multiple times that she would say it to him, he would just say, I know. Like,
yeah.
Oh my goodness.
So you kind of felt bad for her.
Yeah.
And, I don't know. She's just. I don't know.
I mean, I agree with everything you guys said. I think she's a very likable character. I actually love the character Linda in this movie, and she has that motherly type nature about her, and you could definitely tell that she loves her boyfriend Jim in this, and like you both were talking about, like the fact that she would say, "Oh, you're fine."
Jim.
But like you both mentioned,
real boy.
I didn't even catch that either. It's okay.
But like you guys both talked about, though, you know, the fact that she would say "I love you" and he would go "I know." You know, I catched it. I've always caught it, but like this last time I watched it about 3 weeks ago, you really realize like how much she loves him, how much she loves him, and he loves her, but he's just afraid to say it and almost get closer to her. But yeah, I love the character Linda. I think it's a great character, and she has a great character development throughout the whole movie. So from the very beginning to the climax of the film. So but yeah, love the character Linda, and again, rest in peace Tawny Katane, because she was, everybody knew her from the White Snakes videos and like all these 80s cult films, Bachelor Party, Witchboard. I'm sure she was in some other stuff, but Tawny Katane, rest in peace to her. And then let's see, Jay says Linda was a good-hearted, somewhat lost character in the film that you couldn't help but pull for, and I agree. I agree with that. I agree. So another character we talk about, Jim, played by Todd Allen, Linda's boyfriend in this movie. I actually really like the character Jim. I liked him more towards the end of the film. But yeah, like him as a character, like I talked about, you could tell that he loves Linda, but he's afraid to say that he loves her. He's afraid to get closer to her. I really like this character. And again, this is another character that as the movie goes along, he develops more, and towards the end, says the word to Linda that he loves her, and you see it more as the movie goes along, and the character himself, he goes through a lot of stuff in the movie, and you start seeing a lot more emotion from him. So, and he opens up a little bit more. So, but yeah, I really like the character Jim. What do you guys think of him?
He was probably the funniest part of the movie.
Oh yeah, I took some notes on some quotes that he said. I'll pull that up. I had to, because he made us laugh the most, honestly.
But there was well, there was a part whenever Brandon's talking to Linda, and he's saying that Jim never shed a tear once, and he's known him since he was 7 years old, and that really like stuck with me because you don't see any type of emotional characteristics with his face at all throughout the movie, especially whenever like she's like in the hospital and stuff like that, and like you just don't see him being too emotional about anything that's going on. No tears in his eyes, nothing like that. So
right.
So that quote kind of stuck with me. But what are some of the ones that?
So these are just the funny ones that we laughed at. So when he's with the cop or the guy who's investigating something, I don't want to spoil that, but he like knocks like something out of his hand because he's juggling, and he's like, "I got a D in manners." We actually rewound that one so we could hear it again.
That was funny.
Oh yeah, are you telling me I'm living with Linda Blair? Like that was a moment where it was like, oh, but it was laughable.
I did too. I laughed too.
Oh, and then the last one that we put was when the two of them go to investigate David's death. He's like, "You don't happen to have a spare toothbrush in your bag, do you?" And he's like, "Damn, I hate talking to ghosts with plaque on my teeth." Like such a random quote, but so laughable.
I love that quote. I was about to say that's one of my favorites from him. So he definitely has the best lines in this movie. And another one I like is when it's Linda and Jim, like after the party in the beginning of the movie and like the events that take place afterwards when they're both arguing and getting ready to go to bed. He says to her, "I make you laugh," and she's like, "Oh, Woody Allen makes me laugh," or something like that. So,
yeah.
That's a great line. They have a great chemistry in this movie.
Yeah.
Linda and Jim. I really love the characters, and just the Tawny Katane and Jim themselves, or Todd Allen, the actor. They had great chemistry in this, and they're very, very believable and very likable characters. So
I remember him saying in the interview that they had only met 5 minutes prior to shooting or starting, and their chemistry was just instant.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I love them. They're some of my favorite characters in a movie in general, but especially in the horror movie genre. So
I know we don't get to see a lot of the backstory of Jim, but I know it's brought up about his parents being alcoholics, and he wasn't. That kind of struck with me. He's explaining that he grew up at Brandon's house, basically. I think to some effect we can all relate to that, whether the backstory aligns or not. But I think that kind of made me feel bad for him in a way too, and it made me realize like that's why he's not emotional. He's very guarded and closed off because he had a rough upbringing.
Yeah. Whenever Brandon is he tells him he's gonna go get another drink, and Brandon's like, "Oh, like your father."
Yeah. So we hear that, and then we start to like hear more of the backstory. So that it kind of made me like pull for him too, even though he was kind of being a little bit of a jerk there for a while.
Yeah. Oh yeah, no, I agree. Like you said, you don't really get much of a backstory with him, but you get an idea of like how he grew up and everything. So,
right.
But before we get to another character, let's go through these comments. Jamie, how are you? How are you, Jamie? It's great seeing you. And then Jay says they could make a great remake of Witchboard using one of these apps that supposedly talk to spirits. Which yeah. What were you going to say, Brian?
No, I wasn't going to say. I was just agreeing with that. Yeah, that's pretty cool.
I know they did. They had, like you talked about, they did Ouija and Ouija Origins of Evil. And I remember before Ouija was the title, I think there was the big rumor back in, I think 2009, that they were going to remake Witchboard, which eventually, they just made Ouija. But yeah, there could be a great remake of this movie. So. Metal Madness says, I haven't seen this one. I haven't seen this since watching it on VHS as a kid. You make me want to revisit it. So that is awesome. We'll definitely watch it. I adore this movie. I definitely love it. And then I don't want to skip this comment, but Josh Lucio fan says, hey peoples, Brian Goes Blue. Didn't you two do a review on Lucio Fulci's Zombie lately?
Not lately. No, I don't.
I don't think so.
I don't think
I know
so.
at one point we did, because Brian actually won a giveaway from Mr. Parka.
Yeah.
Of like you can't see it on our wall there, but we have
Yeah, you
like a
can't see it right now,
tapestry of the zombie, and he got a hat along with it.
Yeah.
With the 4K.
Yeah, I got the 4K of that and Maniac from Blue Underground for free on a giveaway, so that was cool.
We talked about that.
That might have been what we talked about.
It was a little while back, but
yeah.
I got the Fright Rags zombie T-shirt. I had to pick that one up.
So. Oh, that's nice. Awesome. That's a newer one, yeah.
I love that movie. Love it. Let's see. And then I don't want to skip comments, but Jamie's, let's see. This one right here. Jamie says, I haven't seen Witchboard in ages. Time to rewatch. Definitely rewatch it. So absolutely love this. So I really want to find a VHS tape of this movie. Like, I don't collect too many VHS tapes, but since I have the memories with this movie, I really want to pick one up. So hopefully I can come across it. Yeah. And then Jamie says, I'm good, Justin. I just got done streaming a watch along of Queen of Hearts Act 4, which I have a cameo in. Awesome. Nice. Awesome, Jamie. So she's a Twin Peaks fan. So I love Twin Peaks. That's something we have in common. So besides horror movies, like, she's a big Twin Peaks fan. So, but anyway, so going on to another character in this, we mentioned Brandon, and Brandon is played by Stephen Nichols. And, when you first meet him, like you said, Coco, you think that he's the boyfriend of Linda, but he's actually the friend. But you could tell that they had almost kind of, I don't know if like they had a relationship in the past, or they had something. Like he definitely like is attracted to Linda.
Right.
But you find out that he actually had a friendship with Jim in the movie. So, but yeah, and Brandon's another character. Like when you first meet him, you like him, but then like he does something where you're like, okay, you don't like him too much. But as the movie goes along, you see heart with him, and you understand why he is the way with Jim. I think it's a great character overall, like as the character develops and as we see him kind of go throughout the film. I really like this character as well. So,
yeah.
What do you guys think of Brandon?
I'm trying to think about stuff from the movie that I connected with him. Do you have anything off the top of your head?
Well, just I like the fact that he knows so much origin about that board that he has. Like he has such a connection with that particular Ouija board.
Yeah.
And he knows pretty much everything. He knows the soul that like is possessed inside of that Ouija board, and I think that at first he thinks that maybe only one person can be inside of each board, but as the film progresses, that might not be the case.
Yeah, I like how he was really open in the beginning of the film too, at the party, where he was kind of challenging Jim about religion. I don't want to get into that, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Challenging him about religion and saying, "Oh, well, how do you know God is real or not?" Well, talking about the universe and kind of that back and forth between them. You could see that Brandon was definitely more open-minded, not because of his views, but just he was trying to get Jim to kind of be more open-minded. And I think that kind of opened up for him being knowledgeable about the Ouija board, and like you said, he had a lot of knowledge about what can happen, and
just from growing up with the Jim in the past, he doesn't realize like why Linda's with Jim for a while, and then I think he comes around on that. And as the film progresses, Jim says, what does he say? He says, we used to be like brothers. And then he said, what happened? And he's like, people just grow apart and they grow older. So that's kind of like a life lesson there.
Oh, yeah. What I like about Brandon, what were you going to say?
No,
what I like about Brandon, though, is like when the events start happening, that like you said, he knows about the Ouija board. He knows about all of that and the knowledge of it. And so when he finds out that Linda's been using it by herself, like you really could tell that like he just feels so bad about what's going on and has that concern. And Jim in the beginning doesn't believe any of it. Jim kind of laughs it off, and Brandon's the one telling him no, like, this is what's going on with her, and if we don't do something, it's going to get worse and worse.
All the symptoms and everything he was telling him, and Jim laughed in his face. Remember, he was pounding the wall with the hammer because he's like, "This is ridiculous. Like, she's not possessed." Like,
Yeah. Oh yeah. And then what I do love about, speaking of like Jim and Brandon, as they develop together throughout the movie, because they have like some really good heartfelt moments as, they go and try to find out who David was, and that trip that takes place. And, and then you have, which I don't want to spoil too much, but I mean, I guess we got to talk about it a little bit, if you guys haven't seen it, but there is an event that happens where one of the characters passes away. I won't say who, but it's a very kind of sad moment. Like, I rewatched it, and kind of finding the body of this person, and this moment that happens. Do you guys know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
It's heartbreaking because they just started connecting together again, and they obviously had a friendship in the past, and you could tell that this person, while they grew apart at that moment, like, it was truly heartbreaking to see this friend pass away. So I'm not gonna say who it is, but that was always a moving moment for me in the movie.
Yeah, I felt that way too, because I think we can all relate to growing apart from someone, maturing, having a friendship, and then growing apart, and having your guard up. But then you see that very vulnerable moment where you're like, if that happened, you think of yourself and a friend, like, I would be just as upset or devastated. It's so relatable.
It is. Oh, it really is. So, but Metal Madness says, sounds like we are in a group watch along. That's very true. So very, very true. Now we're going to talk about one of my favorite characters in this movie, and Zarabeth, the psychic in the medium in this movie.
How did I know that was going to be your favorite? I knew it. I knew it.
I just love this character.
Yes.
I always feel like she's my spirit animal a little bit. So, but Zarabeth. So Zarabeth is a medium that comes in this movie kind of midway into it, and after Linda is attacked by David, or maybe not David, Jim tells Brandon, hey, bring this medium along and let's get rid of the spirit of David. And you're introduced to Zarabeth, and Zarabeth is this rainbow hair, awesome person that has some of the best lines in the movie. TTFN. What's that stand for? Tata for now. Or oh, my nails are kind of grody. Like, some of these lines that she has are just some of the best. And one of we'll talk about favorite scenes coming up, but obviously, like, for me, one of the best moments in the movie is the seance that happens, is when she comes and you're hearing David through her, and that's actually like one of the creepiest scenes in my opinion. So
yeah,
a very eerie moment. So but yeah, I love Zarabeth. What do you guys think of Zarabeth?
When she came through, I was like, I loved her too instantly. Just the bright, colorful. One thing I noticed, I don't know if you noticed it, but on her jacket, she had like all the frilly, and there were like little bells and things hanging off. She actually had Barbie doll arms hanging off of her jacket. Which
I never noticed that.
Yeah, it's like it's just a little thing. It's something I noticed, and I was like, I looked at him, I was like, does she have Barbie doll like arms or legs attached to her jacket?
Yeah, they were on there.
He said, yeah. But I loved the comedic relief that she brought to the film, and I thought she was just really fun. And a lot of times, like, you see mediums or psychics, and she was kind of poking fun at that as well, like, the typical standard things that they say and do, and she was kind of like, using that as like her comedy, not like, she was very like professional in the way she did it, but it's like she didn't take herself super serious,
Yeah.
which was fun.
She totally like reminded me of like a cross between Zelda Rubinstein from Poltergeist and E.G. Daily with her voice.
Yes.
Oh yes.
Like a totally mashup with those two.
Yes.
But we looked it up. We looked it up because we were like, where do we know this person from? And one thing Coco pointed out, she knows her from the cartoon series Pepper Ann. She's the voice of Pepper Ann.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't know that. So
Yeah.
I did not know that. She's in this movie, this 80s movie that does not have a Blu-ray release yet, but it's called Calendar Man or something like that from the 80s.
I think I've heard of that.
I don't know if you guys have seen. Let me see if I can get the DVD real quick.
Was it like a bright orange and blue DVD?
Yeah.
It's a
Calendar Man right there.
Oh, wow.
Which we need a Blu-ray release. Somebody release this because this is just fun 80s cheese. But she's in the movie, so and like you see her face in like TV shows and movies. But yeah, Zarabeth might be my favorite character after.
She's a fun character.
Like I said, she's my spirit animal. Like I think she's one of the spirit animals. So
yes.
I love when she first walks in and Jim's like, what is like the deal with her, and goes up to Brandon. Her head's like a freaking rainbow. But yeah, let's talk about Zarabeth a little bit though, because she doesn't have she has some great moments in it, but she's not in it too long. And this will be a spoiler, but after they supposedly get David out of the apartment, she's riding with Brandon to her house, and one of the things that she mentioned is, have you ever heard of the name Mouth Vador before? And she describes like Brandon, like was Brandon this? What did she say in the movie? She was like, was Brandon Portuguese? And he's like, no, I don't. I don't think he was. And David, yes. And he's like, no, why? She's like, oh, well, this guy he must have been a real toughie or something like that. Something that happens. But she starts to suspect something. And, then she gets to her house and he drops her off and she says, I'm going to do my Nancy Drew bit and I'll call you later tonight. And then you get to her apartment and it has one of my favorite songs in the movie, which is Bump in the Night. And she's then doing her research and she finds something out about David, and then her demise happens, which is a scary moment in the movie. That whole apartment sequence in the film is pretty eerie and creepy. So you have like the score, like the music throughout it, her being chased through the hallway, the way the camera's going. That's a pretty eerie moment in the film.
Yeah, it's a cool moment too. You get to see like all the tacky stuff on her walls and everything. Like there's like James Dean posters and like little pin-up stuff on the mirror in the bathroom real quick that you see. I don't know. Just little things like that are cool that they add into the movie. Like even though you only saw her place for like a split second,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I do love the moment in the car where she says to Brandon, I see danger ahead. Oh yeah? Yeah. If you miss my house.
Yeah.
Coming in on the right. I see a vision, me going home or something.
Yeah.
I love the characters there about. So, and then the last character that I really want to talk about, and doesn't have a big part in this, actually very brief moments, and that is the character Mouth Vador. So, which kind of a spoiler a little bit, but you find out that David's not the only spirit in this movie. There is a character, a demonic evil presence by the name of Mouth Vador. And I don't want to mispronounce the actor's name, but I know he passed away recently too. And he doesn't have a lot of moments in this, but you find out that he is actually the one that's been terrorizing Linda talking to Linda the entire time, but also terrorizing her. And definitely has some creepy small moments. He has small moments in the movie, but he definitely has some creepy moments in the film. So, but yeah, I think he is one of the scariest villains, at least for me, that I've seen on screen. And the only thing is, I wish we would have had more of him in the film. What would you guys think of Mouth Vador?
The Those eyes.
It was creepy in those eyes, yeah, and that like was that like dream sequence whenever he knocks her head off in the dream. That's pretty scary stuff.
Yeah, and hearing his backstory from the
the
girl in the witchcraft shop, she's like talking about how he was shot down in the 30s. What was she saying more about, like what led to that?
He like
remember?
He axed a bunch of people in his place.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
They were
like 4 people or 12 people or something like that.
Yeah, and it was the same house
that Linda and Jim live in.
Yeah.
But yeah, you talk about a moment in this movie, which is one of my favorite moments, but a moment that probably is the scariest moment for me, and that is the dream sequence. And I don't know what it is, but every time, like when I watch this movie, I've seen this movie several times, but that still scares me. And I know it's gonna happen, but like when he first appears and he's in her dream and he chops her head off, and that whole moment that takes place, that's a scary moment in my opinion. That's probably the creepiest moment. So
yeah.
But yeah, Mouth Fedor again did not have a lot of moments, but he definitely has some of the best moments in this movie. Didn't have a lot of screen time, but some of the best moments. But yeah, and then wrapping up characters, I just want to say, like, you know, definitely between Linda, Jim, and Brandon, I think this movie and the characters in general have some of the best characters that I've seen in a movie. I really like how these characters all connect in some way. The relationships that are in this movie, whether it be Linda and Jim and their relationship, Linda and Brandon and their friendship, or even Jim and Brandon in this movie. I think these are some of the best characters, in my opinion, in a horror movie or in a movie in general. So very well developed.
Yeah,
I definitely like them. So okay, so the other thing that I want to talk about is favorite moments and favorite scenes in this. Do you guys have any favorite moments?
I have a few that stand out. I would say at the climax, where I won't spoil it, but where Linda and Jim are kind of in the apartment and the apartment's all wrecked and they're having that moment. You know what I'm talking about at the end. I was mentioning to Brian, I turned to him and I said, I wish that she were a bit scarier. But having said that, I think that her performance was creepy enough. Just with her eyes. I mean, you know, because thinking back, like I'll go back to this every time, thinking about Reagan and how that was, you know, when was this movie made? It was the 80s, right?
1986, I think.
Well, yes, because this movie is references The Exorcist, so I can say, you know, they had Linda Blair with contacts, and there were, you know, all the makeup and stuff. I think it was cool that they didn't feel the need to go that route, because the actress, she did such a great job, you know, being so creepy, like just all on her own, you know?
Yeah.
She was like full face of makeup, no signs of, you know, any kind of possession or any, like she's just acting herself, you know? I thought that for me, that was pretty creepy.
Yeah.
That she could invoke that, you know, kind of like scary little scene. And then another scene that stuck out for me is when Jim and Brandon are on the boating dock and they have the Ouija board, and you know it's being moved, and they ask it the question and it says here. The moment it went to that E and it said here, and that kind of like gave me the chills. Like I was like, oh, that, like just being in that moment, thinking about yourself being in a moment like that is really creepy to me.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, definitely.
So.
One of my favorite scenes is like whenever him and his buddy are, you know, working, and the Sheetrock Incident happened.
Oh yeah.
That was pretty. It's pretty sudden how that happens, because you think it's going to be I mean, it has something to do with the hammer, but like, you think it's going to be the hammer itself, but it's really not.
Yeah, because in other scenes there was foreshadowing, like with Zara Beth.
Yeah.
You know, that my foreshadowing is my big thing. I always say to him, I'm like, foreshadowing, and then it happens. But it didn't happen with him, so that's a good point.
It didn't. Yeah, like with the Zara Beth scene, you saw whatever was outside that happened.
It was almost like a sundial type thing outside. But actually, you know what's funny is one of your favorite characters in the movie that Justin didn't mention.
Which character is it?
He told me is one of his favorite in the movie.
Was his name Josh?
Yeah, the friend, Jim's friend, isn't it?
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was like the
goofy and funny.
He's the goofy, funny, like side comic relief. The Asian friend.
He said, "What's he say to him?" He's like, "Dude, who's that? Whose car is that outside?" Something. Oh, that's mine. He's like, "Dude, your car's total."
Yeah. And it's also funny, like, when they talk about his tire being popped.
Oh, yeah.
And it's totally on the opposite side where you couldn't have seen it from the window.
And the house is so far from the car. You're like, wait, how did he see that? It's funny.
Yeah. He is a character that I forgot to mention. That's one of my favorite characters in this too. Yeah. And then, of course, you got the moment where they're working together, and he throws the hammer, the axe, whatever you want to call it, at Jim. You killed it. What does he say? You could have killed me. Then, yeah, you'd come back and haunt me and stuff or something.
Yeah.
Haunt my tires and stuff.
Yeah. It's funny.
Yeah, I really like that character too, and that's, it's a shame we didn't have more of him in the movie because he was one of my favorite characters. So, and little fun fact with him is he played the demon voice in Night of the Demons. So,
oh really?
Yeah, like in that documentary Night of the Demons, he talks about Kevin S. Tenney, I think, talks about how he played the demon voice, so or contributes somehow to it. But yeah, some of my favorite moments. We talked about the climax of the film. When Linda is, they talk about how you have this progressive enchantment, and kind of the developments, and towards the end of the movie, she gets possessed, and that's a really good moment between her and Jim. And obviously, this is the time where Jim, is really fighting to save the person that he loves. And and says that he loves Linda, so, and he'll do anything to save her and protect her. And it's got some of the best lines towards the end of the movie too, and it's kind of revealed that you think Linda was the portal, and it was actually Jim, and the spirit wanted to go after Jim's friends and the person that he loved. And that was a really good twist in the movie. So I really like that. Again, third act, just awesome. I talked about the dream sequence. That's one of my favorite moments. It's a pretty scary moment in it. And then you have the medium moment with Zarabeth. Great moment there too.
Yeah.
So,
one of my favorite funny moments too is whenever he throws the Ouija board out the window and it lands perfectly.
Yes.
I love stuff like that.
I did too.
And then she knows right where to find it.
Yeah, she knew right where it was.
I don't think she saw him throw it, did she?
No, I don't think so.
That was funny.
No. But that's a great moment too. This movie has a lot of great moments. Again, you talked about the dock scene, which I really like the dock scene and the Ouija and how it says, here, which was a great moment.
Yes.
Very suspenseful film, suspenseful moment. Finding out about David's past and his parents and the whole graveyard moment was great.
Yeah.
Kind of eerie. Like when I rewatched it, I was like the way it was lit and the fog and everything.
Flashlight.
Yeah, I really liked that moment.
We were thinking he said when they're at the gravesite that the parents died only 2 weeks ago, but they were already out of the phone books.
I know, right? I know. I know. When I rewatched it, I thought that too. I was like, "Wait a minute! They already got him out of that phone book pretty quick."
They reissued it real fast.
Oh gosh, that's a good moment. And then another moment I really like, and it's the moment that you have a really good moment between Jim and Brandon, is the hotel scene where they're talking about their past and their friendship drifting apart, and talking about Linda and how Jim says, what does he say? Oh, I make her laugh. Well, I make her laugh too. Yeah, but only in the Only in Bed or something like that. So
yeah.
But yeah, yeah, those are some of my favorite moments. And then and then the Zarabeth, her demise, and the whole apartment, like you were saying, all the knickknacks that were around, and those masks that were hanging. You saw a Mickey Mouse like mask. And then the music, like I love the song "Bump in the Night" that you hear in the movie, and then like the song at the end of it. That's another, just one of my favorite moments is that song. Like I could play that song over and over and over again and not get tired of it. So it's a great little song in the film. So but as far as Witchboard goes, do you have any last words on this? Like, we'll talk about some other stuff, but as far as the movie goes, do you have any last words with your thoughts on Witchboard and kind of last opinions on it?
I'd say I regret not having seen it sooner, but Brian has opened me up to so many movies that I'd never even knew about. And I think one thing that you said, whereas I can see it's different for me, is like the dream sequence scene where you said was really scary for you. I think that probably, and correct me if I'm wrong, but that probably stems a lot from you seeing it at 10 years old for the first time. And me now being in my 30s and watching it. And of course I can see that it's scary, but I think I would have taken it, it would have been more scary for me had I seen it at 10 years old. And I think that's so amazing to me how movies can affect us in that way. At 10 years old, maybe you didn't understand all the dynamics of the film, whereas me watching it now for the first time, I picked up on a lot of things. I just think it's really cool how watching it at different times in your life can affect you differently.
Oh, definitely. And even me watching it in the early 2000s for the first time, watching it again
exactly.
Now, it's just, you pick up on different things that I still haven't, a couple of things we talked about tonight, like I still don't remember picking up on earlier on.
Right. Well, and I'm glad you mentioned the other movies. Like you said, there had never been a movie about a Ouija board.
Yeah.
And now there is. I'm glad that I haven't seen those other ones, because this is one that I'm always going to think of when I think of Ouija board, which is really cool. Like, it won't be a forgettable one for me, for sure.
Oh, yeah. Oh, same. Like I said, I saw this as a 10-year-old, and you mentioned the dream sequence, and I was so terrified when I first saw that.
Yeah.
But when I revisited the movie, when I got the Anchor Bay DVD in like 2007, I think it was 2007, and I was watching the movie pitch black in my room.
Oh, yeah.
And I had forgotten like how eerie that moment was, and I jumped. Like when that happened, I jumped. And I forgot how like creepy this movie is, though. Like this movie, it's a fun 80s movie, but it is so creepy at times too.
Yeah.
And knows how to create great atmosphere in a movie. So
and you don't get that. You either get one or the other a lot of times. It's either 80s cheese or it's like, oh, this was really creepy. Like for me, Night of the Demons, I watched that, what was it, 2 years ago, and it was that one was really freaky for me. So it's cool that it's got a little bit of both.
It does. It really does. And, I think this movie is a film that every time I watch it, I think I love it more and more. I've always loved this movie, but, it gets better and better. And this is one of those perfect films to watch like on a foggy, dark night, turn off all the lights type of movie. And it's a great movie to watch during October. So if anybody hasn't seen it yet or haven't seen it in a while, like you want to watch it in October, it's a great Halloween viewing. So
yes,
I love it. But going through these comments real quick, let's see. We got Ricky Hogan. How are you? He says, I still say TTFN to this day, which I do too sometimes. So TTFN. What's that stand for? Ta-ta for now.
I always think of Tigger. Isn't that what Tigger says?
Yeah.
Ta-ta for now.
Oh, what's up, buddy? So he said, hopefully Jose says, dropping a like, peeps. Yes, definitely like this video. Please do. And once again, please go follow Brian Goes Blue and Coco too. You guys are fantastic. So
Thank you.
definitely follow them. My buddy Ken is here. Everyone drop a like. Thank you, Ken. Sledgehammer Horror. Love Sledgehammer Horror. Love Ken.
Awesome. Great channel.
Yes, love him. And then he says, Justin, how is it possible you get more and more handsome every time I see you? I don't know what it is. Maybe it's the beard. So, anyway, so you know, I want to talk about and actually, Brian, this was your idea, and I never even thought about this, but talking about Kevin S. Tenney, the director, and not only this movie but his other work. So I love Kevin S. Tenney. I met him again when I met Tawny Katane back in Days of the Dead, and he's such a super nice guy. And we'll like wish you happy birthdays on Facebook if you have him on there. He's a really nice person. What were you saying, Brian?
I was saying, well, I commented on one of his Facebook posts, and when he was talking about a Vinegar Syndrome title that we'll get into soon, but and I guessed it on his thing, and he's like, "Oh, you might be right." He replied right to me. It was pretty cool. I don't know, just whenever actors and directors reply to you on social media, it's always a warm feeling inside, you know.
Oh yeah, I agree. So and he's a super nice guy, and I love his work. I haven't seen all of his work, but I've definitely seen most of it, and he was definitely, you know, somebody. 80s horror movies, 90s horror movies, like two of the best decades for films. A great director. So let's talk about him. Like, Brian, you had this great idea talking about his film. So obviously we talked about Witchboard, which was his first movie, and he came back and he talked about it, which was great. What was his next one? 1988, I think.
I'm not sure the
years.
Night of the Demons? I know it was Night of the Demons. His second movie is Night of the Demons.
Yeah, it must have been Night of the Demons then.
Yeah, so, yeah. 1988, Night of the Demons.
You got that cool steelbook.
Yeah. And I love that slipcover edition. So. But yeah, this is like a fun Halloween flick. Like, I absolutely love it. And Coco talked about it earlier, but like I remember seeing the VHS of this and seeing Angela on the cover, and it freaked me out. Like, I didn't watch this movie for the longest time. But yeah, Night of the Demons, you know, what's your thoughts on this one? So
Night of the Demons is it's a definite cult classic. Definitely an influential horror movie, I'd say. The effects are awesome. You got the great Linnea Quigley in here. Everybody always likes the guy Stooge. He's a great character in here too. What's her name? Amelia Kincaid. Great.
Angela, yeah. Angela.
Yeah. Yeah, everybody just go into Hull House and for a party, and little did they know what's gonna come whenever they go into the house. It's just such a crazy movie. It's such a like a very splatter kind of horror movie. It's actually got a pretty good amount of gore in there that I wouldn't expect on a first time watch.
No.
Yeah, it's just, I don't know, one that always stuck with me, especially with the demons genre, because we don't get that many demons movies.
No, I agree with that. I agree. So yeah, I love this too. It's fun. It's scary. It's a great Halloween watch for sure, and one that I have to put on every year. Like, if I don't watch it Halloween night, I definitely watch it throughout the month of October. And you know, things that really stand out for me in this movie is I love, like you said, the practical effects in this movie are some of the best like practical effects that I've seen in a movie. And I remember the first time watching this movie, and some of those practical effects that came on, I was like, how did they do that? Like, it was so cool. some of the moments that happened through Night of the Demons, like the lipstick moment, which I remember when that happened, I was like in awe because I was like, I wonder how they did that.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And then the makeup and the makeup and practical what's the word I'm looking for? Prosthetics that they used on their faces. I like how all the demons looked a little bit different. So they all had their different look and personality. So, but yeah, we were talking about Night of the Demons. Coco, what do you think about this one?
I had to go. Sorry, I didn't mean to
Oh,
be
you're fine.
rude and run off. I had to
No,
go.
you're okay.
I had to go get my Gutter Garbs T-shirt.
I got one too. I love that T-shirt. So
I realized too late. I didn't know it was the same director, so I was like, I have to go get my Night of the Demons shirt. For me, this one is very near and dear to my heart. So what was it? Going on 2.5 years ago, I believe.
Yeah.
When Brian and I first started dating, a lot of what we would do for our little date nights is he would come over and we would watch movies. So he was always bringing over movies, and I think it was a little bit of a test, and I think I passed.
I used to bring him over without the slipcovers because I didn't want to damage them.
And I didn't think anything of it at the time, and now like we're all about the slipcovers and have the whole collection together. But he brought this movie over, and obviously he had known that I loved The Exorcist and that I loved anything like demon movies or possession or, things like that. And I didn't expect to fall in love with this movie as much as I did. Hence him getting me the T-shirt, and I just love it so much. Like I said before, I don't find that I watch too many movies now that have an effect on me like movies that I watched when I was younger, but this one does. This one, especially Angela, that makeup and the face just gets me every single time. Like I could watch this over and over again and it wouldn't get old for me.
Same here.
So,
like it's got a lot of rewatchability for this one. So
yes.
Yeah, it was like the second or third movie if I showed her. I was like, it's kind of like a test, Like,
Yes.
Oh, and then I love you have the characters in this. You talk about Stooge, which is a great character. What are some of he's got some of the best lines in the movie. I think I feel a cold breeze.
Yeah.
And then
lines right now.
Susan, played by Linnea Quigley, that's a great character in the movie. I just want to look good for the boys. You did remember to invite cute boys, I hope. Oh yes, and we're gonna scare the shit out of them. Like that's the great line in the movie. And then Angela, which that's I was terrified of Angela for like the longest time, and I didn't even have to watch the movies. I saw some of the cover arts and kind of stayed away from these movies for a while. So, but played by the lovely Amelia Kincaid, who I just adore. So, got some great moments like the dance moment, her dance number. And then you got the moment where she says, "Oh, there you are. I was just putting my hands against the fire," and like the flames coming off her fingers, like, and the practical effects and like everything that they did in the movie, like with the fire on the fingers, like talking about that process and how like she had to say the line like real quick and then put her hands in like a bucket of ice water.
Oh wow.
Yeah, because she only had like a certain amount of like, I think she had like 5 seconds before like it would burn her fingers.
Wow.
So they had to say the line quick.
That was when they really made movies.
Yeah, that's right. That's right. But yeah, I love this. And then of course you got the demon voice, which is pretty iconic. And I used to be able to pull off the demon voice. I don't think I could do it anymore, but way to go. The party's just begun, or something like that. So.
That was good.
That was good.
Thank you. I remember I met Amelia Kincaid, and I told her, I said I could do the demon voice. And this was like 2010 when I met her, and she was like, "Oh my gosh!" Like,
oh, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so very, very cool. Got some great lines. Well, let's get through these comments real quick. So get caught up. Ken Sledgehammer Horror says, "Hey Brian and Coco, what were your first horror movies?"
Ooh.
First horror movies.
My first one that I can remember, because I have a big brother and a big sister. For me, it was The Exorcist. My parents went out for the night, and brother and sister were babysitting. And this sounds terribly cruel and crazy, but that's what big brothers and sisters are for. They actually sat me down in a chair, did the old tie my hands up and and made me watch The Exorcist in the dark. It wasn't. It's. I know I say it and it sounds like terrible to me now thinking about it, but it was actually kind of like a funny little 5-minute thing on one of the scariest parts of the movie where they wanted to just scar me for life and they succeeded. Yeah. That was the one for me. And then Friday the 13th for sure. My brother is still, a Jason lover, and that's one I remember watching a lot as a younger child.
For me, I don't know which exactly was my first horror movie. Probably one of the Jason movies, but I used to
so many.
I used to watch TNT, like Monster Vision, when I was growing up, and that's when I saw a lot of my first horror movies.
Yeah.
So
same here. I love Monster Vision. USA Up All Night and all.
I was like 8 or 9 years old watching these things.
Mm-hmm.
I was too. I was like, I remember when Halloween and Halloween 2 came on USA back to back, and it was the first time I ever watched them, and that had a huge impact on me. So, yeah. And then Deadly Friend was another one that I watched when I was younger. So,
well, my parents let me have cable in the room, so that was probably a bad idea.
Oh, and Child's Play too, Chucky.
Yeah. Oh yeah, iconic.
Oh, and Leprechaun. Leprechaun for me was a really. See, that's another one I watched when I was younger. Scares me now as an adult. Just it's funny now too.
Yeah.
But it's mostly scary.
The first one's still pretty scary, but the other ones are.
Yeah. I was used to lay in my bed thinking like, you think of like Jason or Freddy. They're, the tall characters could walk into your room. You think that could happen at any moment. But a small little man, a leprechaun, kind of coming into your room at, bed level, that always scared me.
Yeah.
Just thinking of that. Yeah.
I'm glad I'm not the only one that still thinks that the first Leprechaun's kind of creepy, because there's something about it every time I watch it, especially the opening with like when you first encounter the Leprechaun.
Oh, yeah.
That's creepy moments right there. So
for sure.
I love Leprechaun. Gotta watch that one soon. Gotta watch it this month. So and then Ricky Hogan, I'm probably in the minority here, but I also like the sequel with Amy Dolan's Witchboard 2. So we're going to talk about that in a minute, but I'll just say this. I love Witchboard 2. So, and then Count Von Strange. What's good? What's going on? Hope you're having a great night. Thank you for stopping in. Having a fun time talking with two of my awesome friends here. So it's been a blast.
Yeah.
And then Ricky Hogan says Night of the Demons is one of my favorite movies. I watch it at least once or twice a year. Same here. So same here. I love it. Definitely an October viewing, but now talking about it, I think I might watch it.
I know. I want to watch it so bad.
And then my buddy Nick from the Lost River Drive-In is here. What's going on, Nick? So my buddy, Haddonfield alumni. I love Nick. So
we watch him all the time too.
Yeah.
Nick is awesome. So hope you're doing well, buddy. Hopefully you had a great day at work. And then Ricky Hogan says that lipstick scene. Wow. Yes. Night of the Demons. Yes. And then Demon Voice. I know. So you got it out of me tonight. So what's the other one that I used to be able to do? It's the moment where Judy, don't you like your bloody date? Something like that.
Yeah. Awesome.
Let's get him back a little bit. And then Nick says, hi, Brian and Coco.
Hey, Nick.
And then Sledgehammer says, Nick. And then Ricky Hogan says, maybe she's in the mood for pork tonight. So that's a good line. So I forgot about that. That's a good one. And then Ken says, the newest Leprechaun is so damn good. I agree. I love the new Leprechaun.
Leprechaun Returns?
Yeah.
That one.
Yeah, we have to watch that one this year.
Yeah.
It's so good. And I was I was wondering like how they were going to be able to pull it off, being that Warwick Davis was not the Leprechaun in it. But
Right.
the actor that they got, like he did a great job, and it might be my second favorite after the original. I don't know. So
it's probably the second scariest after the original.
Yeah. Oh yeah. So I love it. Absolutely.
It's the perfect month to watch that too.
Yep.
It is. I haven't seen like a lot of the later ones in such a long time. I think I might start marathoning them.
My favorite part is when he's doing the Elvis outside of the limo or outside of the casino. I laughed so hard I made Brian rewind it like 10 times. I swear. I love it.
Yeah, I love that moment. And Leprechaun in Vegas, like that was one. Yeah. Mom and pop video store. I rented that one, and I have memories with that one too.
Yeah, that scene with what is Caroline Monroe when she
Caroline.
Her big lips and big butt.
Oh yeah, that's hilarious too.
I love it. I love that. And then Ken says, yes, Origin is awful, but the return was great. I agree. I'm not a big fan of Leprechaun Origin, so I kind of went a different. I wasn't a big fan of that one, so that one did not have anything to do with the franchise. So I don't know if did you all see that one, Leprechaun Origin?
I did, but I didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't care for it. And then Ken says, we're ranking the franchise March 16th. Hope you can join us, Justin. So that would be fun because I haven't seen a lot of these movies in such a long time. So I would be down with that. So talk about some Leprechaun. So, but let's talk about some more Kevin S. Tenney. So Ricky Hogan brought this up. No, actually, his next movie was not Witchboard 2. What was his next one? Like
his next movie was from 1988 as well. Mm-hmm. And it was the Cellar.
I've not seen that one. So talk about that one.
Yeah, it's a good one.
When did we watch this one together?
It was like it must have been right after this came out.
Yeah,
this came out last year. But what I remember is it's about a family living in Texas in the middle of nowhere, and there's a demon-like creature in the cellar that they have at their place.
They locked it up.
Yeah, they locked it up. And the parents don't want their child to know that the demon is down there, and he gets curious about it, and then you end up eventually seeing the creature, and it's pretty cool. It has a lot of comedic moments, just like his other movies do, and it's just like an underrated one that nobody talks about. One of my best friends, a few years ago, maybe 5 years ago or so, had me download a VHS rip of this movie because we really wanted to watch it, and that was the only way that this has seen the light of day was VHS. And when Vinegar Syndrome announced it, I was like, I got to grab that immediately.
Yeah.
So I started sending in pictures that it was coming out, and we were both excited about it. So, this is just, I don't know, if you like movies like The Gate.
Oh, I love The Gate.
It kind of reminds me of that a little bit, but without the little minion creatures, of course.
Right.
But I just like whenever kids are in horror movies, and it's kind of like a family-friendly one, too.
Yeah.
It's nothing really crazy in it.
Other than the dad being kind of a jerk. Do I remember that correctly? It was the dad that was...
Yeah, the dad was a jerk,
He wasn't a likable character at all.
Yeah, the dad's not really likable, but I don't think it's a R-rated... It's a PG-13 movie. It's not R, so it's more of a family-friendly one.
Yeah.
Okay. I'll have to check that one out. I haven't got that one yet, so I will have to definitely pick it up.
Yeah, pick it up during like their halfway to Black Friday sale or something when it's cheaper.
Yeah, I'll definitely have to do that. And then Movie John. What's up, John? This guy's awesome. I've got to meet him 2 or 3 times at Scarefest, and one of the OGs here. But Movie John says The Cellar is good. Just got it on Blu-ray from Vinegar Syndrome. So
nice.
I'll have to pick that one up. Shout out to Movie John. So awesome guy. And then Ricky Hogan. OMG, dude, you nailed the demon voice. Well, thank you. One of my talents.
We always get you to pull something out of your hat. Like, remember last stream? It feels like it was just yesterday, but we got you to sing last time, remember? We were singing together.
In fact, I can like sing a little bit of the song Bump in the Night from Witchboard. So
it's your favorite song, so it would only be right.
Dreaming of demons, dreaming of dark. Just bump in the night. So.
Yes. Bravo, sir.
Oh, I love Bump in the Night. That's a good song. So I always envision myself like, if anything, like if I like, I always think like when I sing some of these songs, I have like the '80s like headband hair and like, you know, just everything going on. So, but yeah, Bump in the Night, classic song. So
yes.
But so talked about Cellar, and then I think 1989 or 88 is 89 is a good old Witch Trap.
Yeah.
So, with that beautiful slip, by the way, I love this slipcover. So
Awesome.
Yeah,
really awesome. I think they had the Blu-ray for the longest time. Like this is the Blu-ray that originally came out, and then they did a slipcover with it. So
yeah, and then I think I just bought the slipcover for $7 or $8.
Yeah, same here. I had to get it. So, but yeah, Witch Trap. This is a fun one. I personally love it. I realize it's not as good as some of his other movies, but
yeah,
I absolutely love it for the fun cheese that it is. So, what do you guys think of this one?
I don't think it was Coco's favorite when
I
she
was
first
gonna
watched
say
it.
I remember not loving it as much as a lot of other things we've watched, but I would like to revisit it now that you know. I think this was kind of like an earlier watch for me.
Yeah.
When you were kind of getting me more into these obscure like titles, and now I have more of an appreciation for it. But I do remember. I mean, I liked it. I thought it was really cool.
Is this the same guy from Witchboard though? Is it?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes,
all right.
Oh, it is?
I always thought it was.
Oh, wow.
Yes, it is. And
that's awesome.
For the longest time, I thought this was a sequel to Witchboard. Like I thought it was connected somehow.
Oh.
And I wish this artwork had the artwork right here, the original artwork had like the little disclaimer, but like the VHS tape, which I don't know if I have it anymore or not, that it used to say this is not a sequel to Witchboard. Like they threw that little disclaimer on there. But yeah, like same villain and everything. So for the longest time, I thought it was like connected somehow.
Oh, if you open it up, it says that on the DVD.
Oh, does it really? Oh, cool. Oh, sweet.
Was this the one? Linnea Quigley's in this one as well, right?
Yes.
Was this one with the shower?
Yeah,
with her and the glass.
Yeah, with the shower in the throat.
Yeah. Okay. Oh yeah, right there on the back. I didn't even see that.
Yeah, on the back it says this motion picture is not a sequel to Witchboard.
Yes, it's right there. Yep, right there. Right there. So very cool. That's like one of my favorite cheesiest deaths in a movie is the shower sequence.
It's cool how they did it too.
Yeah.
I know. I'll try not to cuss on this stream, but I love when she says, "I don't effing believe this," and like she's trying to get the water to start back up, and it like shoots her in the neck.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is a super fun one. Like I know it's not like one of like it's definitely not as good as like Witchboard or Night of the Demons or Witchboard 2. Again, I haven't seen Cellar, so I need to watch that. But but it's fun. Like this is just fun 80s. Like I was surprised. Like I was happy, but I was surprised that Vinegar Syndrome released this, just because this was again one of those ones that growing up when I rented Witchboard, I rented Witch Trap as well. And no one talked about it for the longest time. Like I remember trying to track down a VHS copy of this, and I think I bought it off of Amazon for like $20. And then, lo and behold, Vinegar Syndrome released it on Blu-ray, and you got some great bonus features. They talked about. Oh yeah. The Kevin S. Tenney comes back. Linnea Quigley. I thought it was a fun fact that because in the movie, you know how like when they're talking, it almost looks like it's dubbed.
Yeah.
I like that Kevin Tenney said that like they lost like the audio or something like that, so they actually had to go and do voice work.
Yeah, I think when we watched it, you were pointing that out, that it looked like the audio was off.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, so they actually lost, like, something happened when they were making the movie. I can't remember what he said, but like they literally could not hear anybody talk. So all the actors had to go back and pretty much go in a studio and do voice work. So
Wow.
yeah, but it's a fun one. I think it's fun. I find that there's a couple, not as much now, but like when I first saw it, I thought there was a couple eerie moments. Like you got the head explosion scene in the movie, which I thought was pretty cool. And yeah, so, and again, it's got the same villain. He did a great job in the movie. So rest in peace to him.
Yeah.
But yeah, comments real quick. Let's see. Movie John says, I didn't care for Witch Trap. Sorry, worst acting I've seen in a long time. Not the greatest acting. I agree with that. But a lot of great faces. So, but I really think that like maybe the dubbing had a little bit to do with that because it kind of looked cheesy. So, but yeah, not the greatest acting, but a fun B movie. And then let's see. Ricky says The Cellar was a good movie, so I have to check that one out. And then Ricky says, I haven't seen Witch Trap. I'll have to check this out. So it's a fun one. If I adore it. I love it for what it is. So can't be fun. Camptastic.
Yeah.
Pick up the Vinegar Syndrome at least. So and then Witchboard 2, which you guys have not seen this yet.
Right.
No, we have it, but we haven't seen it.
Well, I won't give too much away. I'll just say this. From time to time, I go back and forth between this and Witchboard as my favorite. So.
Oh, wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, it's the girl from Ticks in it.
Girl from Ticks, which I love Ticks.
Oh, okay.
We just watched that when that came out from Vinegar Syndrome. So.
I still have yet to watch my 4K. I need to watch that. So.
Yeah.
I picked up the 4K release. But yeah, she's in Pumpkinhead 2, which was a great one. And a couple other 90s movies. But yeah, I won't give too much away, but I really, really love the sequel. And I just think it's awesome. So again, another movie with great atmosphere in it. I like the setting in it, and got some really good twists in this. This was one of those movies that, again, I rented on VHS over and over and over again. And I think it was like 2008. There was a mom and pop video store that was connected to a pizza place. And obviously we had DVD and Blu-ray was coming out. But this guy who owned this video store had rows of VHS tapes still to rent, like rows and rows. And I went through his horror movie section and I saw Witchboard 2 again on VHS. And I think I tried to talk him into like letting me like buy it from him, and he was like, no, we can't do that. But Witchboard 2, just talking about it, it's awesome. So
it's cool that this actually has features on it too. A lot of all films releases don't.
Yeah. Oh yeah. You got audio commentary, deleted scenes, TV spots, trailers. So
featurette.
Really cool. Really cool.
I definitely want to leave this one out and watch it soon because Witchboard is so fresh in our minds. Definitely we'll check it out soon and let you know what we think.
I definitely want to know. So I love Witchboard too. I won't give too much away, but yeah, I love that. And again, you'll see some other faces from other movies from the 90s that appear in that movie. So but I thought it'd be fun before we wrap things up to maybe have some questions from anybody. If you guys want to leave comments, leave questions, definitely do so. But while we're waiting for the questions, Brian and Coco, do you have any videos, anything planned coming up?
Well, we were just talking about, it was funny you mentioned the 80s thing with the hair and all that and picturing yourself that way. I mentioned to Brian that I think it would be really cool for us to go full on, dress up totally 80s, both of us, and choose like either a top 10 or a top 5 for each of us of our favorite 80s flicks.
Yeah.
Just something different and fun. Because I think like dressing up and being silly and goofy, that's just like something I love to do. And I think we'd have a lot of fun with it. So that's an idea of something we have. We have not been on top of filming in our movie room.
Yeah, we need to do more of that.
Yeah, because we have movies stacked up. We're in the process of building another shelf because movie collector problems.
Oh yeah,
we ran out of room.
Too.
So yeah, we're gonna be pushing out some more content as far as pickups and things like that go.
Yeah, I definitely want to get on the horror t-shirt video too.
Yes.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Justin, that's something I think you should do as well, or consider doing, because you have an awesome collection of shirts too, like more than anybody we've seen in the community. So I think that would be really cool to see your collection.
That's what I want to do. I was talking with somebody else about doing a live stream, just talking about horror movie T-shirts.
Yeah.
And kind of like the companies that are out there. But
Yep.
I would like to do that. So maybe we could do like a group video or something.
Yeah.
But, the different companies.
What better way to show it off? I mean, you wear these shirts out in public, and most people don't know. I mean, I wore this to the movies, and of course, everyone's going to know Child's Play, but it'd be cool to have people appreciate, because they know what the movies are. So
I agree. So, and there's some great ones out there. So I mean, Witchboard, basket case, so like so many great ones. So great T-shirts. But yeah, I need to do like a new collection overview of my T-shirts, because I buy a lot of them. Like I think next to movies, like that's my second thing that I buy a lot of.
Yeah, too.
I have a new Cavity Colors collection of They Live, and that design looks awesome coming out.
Oh my gosh. Oh man. I just bought Gutter Garb's Rosemary's Killer, the Prowler T-shirt that they have. It's like the old school VHS. So
that's awesome.
Cover. They call it the UK VHS cover, and it's called Rosemary's Killer. So
I have a Prowler shirt from I think Cavity Colors, and it's got the guy getting the stab through the head.
Ooh,
it's a pretty cool.
That's a good one. That is good.
Brian pulls out of the closet is
the Tom Savini kill.
Yeah.
I know, that's pretty much all I wear. It's like mostly horror movie T-shirts. So
now he's rubbed off on me. Same for me now.
I know. So that's what I pretty much wear all the time, is just horror movie T-shirts. There are a couple of them I want to get. Like I got the original Fright Rags They Live T-shirt, which I love, and then there's a couple. Like I said, Rosemary's Killer, Killer Clowns, and then what was the other one? Oh, RoboCop. That was another one I got recently.
Nice.
So.
Nice.
Yeah. Real quick, shout out to my buddy Lewis. Lewis, what's up? So he's my buddy. So like lives not too far away from me. We watch a lot of movies together. So he's my horror movie buddy here in town. So shout out to Lewis. So Lewis, hopefully you're partying tonight, dude. I'm just kidding. Love you, buddy. And then let's see, comments going through here real quick. Let's see, we got damn, that's a lot of movies. How much is your collection worth? So
I don't even know.
Oh wow. What was the last time we counted? We had like 4,000 movies, and we've definitely grown.
Yeah.
The collection has grown since then. I mean, we have stacks and stacks on the floor behind us.
Probably in the mid 4,000s.
Yeah. I know. Mine I got a lot too. Like I could turn around and show you, but
yes.
We love your movie room.
Yeah, we do.
Thank you. Thank you.
We really need those seats that you have.
Yes, I always love seeing your posts with the room. It's like, hey guys, happy weekend. Here's my setup. I love seeing that.
Thank you. Thank you. So it's my favorite place to be. So
as far as it's worth, I don't know. I'd have to price each title out.
Yeah.
I don't even know what I have that's out of print anymore.
Right.
That's
where the money's at, really.
Yeah.
Out of print titles.
Yeah. Sometimes you see stuff that's out of print and you don't even know that. Yeah.
Right.
I know.
That's worth all that money.
Did you all ever pick up the Slumber Party Massacre 2 and 3 double feature Blu-ray?
Yeah, we have that.
It goes for I have it too, but it goes for a crazy amount of money now. Like that went out of print and went up quick in price.
And the Sleepaway Camp trilogy. Well, mostly the sequels, but the first one, slipcover, goes for.
Oh yeah. There's some great. I mean, yeah, Scream, Poltergeist 2 and 3. Those went out of print. Those go for quite a bit. Yeah. I know when the slipcovers go out of print, they go for crazy money. So yeah. So But yeah, I probably wouldn't even want to know how much my collection's worth just because I know I like burn a wallet. My wallet like cries every time. But it's worth it. It's worth it.
Yeah.
So, it is so worth it. Have you guys pre-ordered anything? Are you picking anything up?
Well, I pre-ordered Dream a Little Dream.
Same.
The Hunger Games.
We got the Hunger Games 4K, the 4K Steelbook collection. That Best Buy one.
Those movies.
Really cool.
I love those films. Those are great movies.
I've never seen them, so I'm really excited
I haven't seen
to show them to him.
I love them. They're fun. They're great movies. So.
Are you into books at all? Are you into reading?
I'm into reading. I haven't read those books though. I don't read too much, but like if a book grabs me, then like I'm hooked.
I remember that one grabbing me so much so that I had the first one. I was in my own apartment back in the day, and I had the first book, and I lived right near a Walmart, and I went to Walmart after I finished the first book. Kid you not, bought the other two and binge read the entire series in one weekend. And that is not like me. Like I like to take my time reading, but definitely hooked me.
Well, we're also Vinegar Syndrome subscribers, so
yes,
always get those in.
Always have something coming in.
And I'm looking forward to Hard Rock Zombies coming in the end of the month.
What's the other one with it? It's Slaughterhouse, not Slaughterhouse.
Slaughterhouse Rock.
Yeah, I want to see that one too. I've never seen that one. So
we have that one from Code Red already, but so I might end up selling that one off. But that's a fun movie for sure.
And then you got X-Ray, and what's the other one with it?
Schizoid.
Yep, I have the Scream Factory release, but I'm going to be double dipping. I'm like, oh, that looks so beautiful.
Schizoid's okay, but X-Ray is awesome.
Yeah, that is a good one. I haven't seen Schizoid yet, so
it's got an early Christopher Lloyd in that movie.
Oh,
now Schizoid does?
Yeah, and
really,
it has Klaus Kinski's the main star.
Wow. Okay, I'll have to watch that. I'll get it when the Vinegar Syndrome. I'll watch it when the Vinegar Syndrome release comes out. So, like Candyman, I'm looking forward to that, and The Craft, and Escape from New York, and there's another one coming out around that time that I can't remember the title, but
Life Force.
Life Force, yeah. So, I know my wallet's gonna be burning, so it's gonna be worth it though.
Hey Justin, are you still like actively collecting NECA figures or any type of figurines? Because I know you have a good collection of that.
Yeah, like I just got, what did I get? I got the Friday the 13th Part 7 New Blood figure.
Nice.
And then let me get this one down. I'll show you guys this cool one. Like literally like went out of print right away, and that is the Roddy Piper.
Oh, that's awesome.
I think
wrestling figure.
I saw that in your update video.
That's awesome.
That's a really awesome one.
Yeah, and he has not been anywhere. Like ever since I purchased him, like he has not been around. Like we go back to Walmart all the time, and we see like the other figures, but like he just kind of like disappeared.
Right.
So, but yeah, I love that. Awesome. How about you? Did you guys pick up any new figures?
Well, we got the Halloween 3 triple pack from NECA.
Yeah, I have that right here. We've been meaning to show this in an update video. We got this one recently.
Yeah, we found that.
It's probably my favorite.
Target's been restocking these, so
have they really?
Yeah, you might be able to find it there now. So.
I
actually had some to choose from to get to him. I think it slides out.
Yeah, just
there
slides
you go.
out.
Yeah, it's a really awesome. And on the back too, show the back.
Oh, the back is cool because it's like it shows them. It shows that you can like purchase them like an old school ordering thing. At the bottom.
Oh, neat.
Yeah,
I love that.
I just love that they're like tiny.
Yeah,
it's awesome.
I need to get that.
Now we've been collecting the NECA Toonie Terrors, and we've been on the hunt for Herbert West, Reanimator, and the Miner.
And the Miner from My Bloody Valentine, they have one of those too.
We can't seem to find them anywhere, but we're actively looking.
And we're looking for what's that company that's the M lettering that you see in Walmart sometimes?
Is it McFarlane?
The one that did the Jeepers Creepers figure. I forget.
The skinnier box.
Yeah.
Oh, what is that? I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name.
It's not Mezco or
Might be able to find it.
but they released a Toxic Avenger figure that I really want to grab because I love the Toxic Avenger.
Yeah.
And that's supposed to be at Walmart, but we haven't been able to find it.
Toxic Avenger, that's the one you're looking for?
Yeah, from I forget the name of the brand.
When I go, I think my one.
Yeah, that's it.
Mego?
Migo, yeah,
Migo.
So you're looking for the Toxic Avenger one. My Walmart had it the last time, so if I go there next time, I'll make sure to get it for you guys.
Oh, yes, thank you.
You're welcome. So crossing my fingers I have it. So, but if I do, it's yours. I'll pick it up for you. So.
Okay.
That's awesome.
We'll give you money.
Okay.
We'll give you money.
But yeah, let's go through some of these questions real quick. Metal Madness, what's your favorite horror movie t-shirt you own, each of you? Ooh, that's hard. I think that's a tough one for me.
Mine's a toss-up between my Night of the Demons that I just showed and my Trick or Treat. I have two.
Ooh.
Yeah, I love Trick or Treat.
Yeah.
I mean, I wouldn't really call it horror, but technically it's a horror t-shirt.
I think it is.
That's going to be tough for you because your whole closet is...
Yeah, my whole closet is horror movie shirts.
Our whole closet.
I really like that Reanimator one that I have with the from Terror Threads with the dead cat on the front of it.
Oh, yeah.
That one's really cool. And this new basket,
the one you're wearing.
The new basket case shirt's pretty awesome.
I think that's awesome too.
And I like the Killer Clown shirt that I have. It's, yeah, that's a cool one. Anything that Devin Whitehead does is awesome.
Or Justin Osborne.
Yes, I agree.
Favorite artists.
Like it's going to be good when you see their names on it.
I agree. I completely agree. So, my favorite, obviously, Witchboard's one of my favorites. I love, speaking of Justin Osborne, the Halloween 2 Fright Rags t-shirt that came out not too long ago, where it's like Laurie crawling on the ground and you see like the Michael with the blood tears.
Oh, yeah.
That's a great one.
Puny Terrors is actually that, right? Where is it?
Yeah, Michael with the blood tears.
We have that one?
Yeah.
Because there's a few Michaels. There goes Freddy. Here it is.
Yeah,
that's cool.
He's got the blood tears.
Yeah.
That's so cool. That is so cool.
Yeah, the pumpkin with the skull and it's also on there.
Yeah.
I love that. I absolutely love that. It's too high up, but I got I paid a little bit more for it, but I picked up the Dr. Loomis Laurie Strode NECA figure.
Oh, that two-pack?
Oh, yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I got that one, so I might have to show that in a video. It's like hanging up, so I can't reach it right now, but I love that one. Absolutely love that. But yeah, horror movie t-shirts, that's always like a tough one for me to say which one's my favorite, because I have a lot of them. A lot of them that I love.
Ones you got me recently, the Black Christmas and Halloween 3. Oh, I love that one. And right when he got me the Halloween 3, they came out with a new print of it with the witch right on the front because I love the witch.
I do too. Yeah. Walmart, shout out to them. I don't know if you guys did you guys ever pick up the Nightmare on Elm Street 3?
Yeah. Yes. We both have one.
Walmart's been releasing some good ones.
The one she's wearing right now is from Walmart.
Oh, awesome. Yeah, the Child's Play one, my buddy Lewis picked one up for me last week, so he knows me too well.
Can't get it for $8. So.
No.
I know the price is great. I found my Exorcist t-shirt there, which was like awesome. I was like, wow. So yeah, they come up with some great ones. So
yeah.
Ricky says, agree, Justin. I go back and forth between Witchboard 1 and 2. Yeah, they're awesome. I absolutely love them. Let's see. And then Ricky Elaine was awesome in Ouija 2. Yes, I agree. So I think you talk about Witchboard 2. So Elaine, the character Elaine. So yeah. So when you see it, she's the woman from. Do you remember Problem Child 2? The stepmom, the one that he married at the end.
Oh yeah. Is it the one that he marries at the end from Robin? The one from Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Yes.
That was in Witchboard 2?
No, not her. She's the mean stepmom, the one that he was gonna
Oh
marry.
yeah, the one with the nose surgery.
Yes. She's
Yeah,
in
yeah.
Witchboard too. So she's in it.
All three up there, not two.
Yeah.
She's my favorite character in Witchboard too. So wait till you meet her. She's a trip. So, and then my buddy Lewis says, "I have a few movies. I've seen your collection, Lewis. Don't be tricking. Don't be tricking, Lewis. Don't be a tricking. Like his collection is like amazing." So, and then Ricky, favorite character from Night of the Demons. Also, what do you guys think of Night of the Demons 2 and 3? So, you guys go first. What's your favorite character from Night of the Demons?
Mine's probably Stooge.
Mine's Angela.
Oh, I would say Stooge. I'm gonna actually go with Suzanne. I think Suzanne. I'm gonna go with good old Suzanne. So
Yeah.
I just want to look good for the boys. That's my favorite line. I love that. But yeah, there's so many great characters. That's the great thing about Kevin S. Tenney and his films. Like he knows how to create great characters in his movies. And then what do you think of Night of the Demons 2 and 3? I love them both. So
I haven't seen the third one, but we have the second one. She hasn't seen the second one yet.
Nope.
But
yeah,
I know you have the Burn on Demand from eBay, the part 3.
I found that, and I have the old. Where I still have it. Let's see. Let me find it.
Is the part 2 the one where on the title where Angela's has the skull lollipop?
Yeah.
The three suckers. Yeah, I love.
Yeah.
I want to watch that one real bad.
It's
too.
fun. It's really 90s, but it's fun.
Yeah.
You know.
Yep.
I honestly go back and forth sometimes. Do I like the first or the second one better? I love Night of the Demons. I do love part 2. So, but yeah, and then of course like this old Canadian.
Oh wow, that's awesome.
Night of the Demons 3. So
that's awesome.
Definitely the weakest of the originals, but it's a fun one. Like it's a good time. So
that's a legit release too, right?
It is, yeah, legit release. Do you remember this? Let me show you the inside, where sometimes you get these different, like especially these Canadian releases, they have like the reverse artwork, and they have the different language on the back. So.
That's
cool.
Yeah.
I think I have a couple of them, the French Canadian.
Yeah, Night of the Demons 3. If somebody releases that one, I'm going to be picking it up because I love that. But yes, I have that made on demand Blu-ray too. So love Night of the Demons 3. So love the second one. That might be my favorite. So my buddy Lewis said he picked up Alligator 2 today. I have yet to pick up. I ordered Alligator. I need to order Alligator 2. So.
Yeah, they picked up Alligator 1 and 2. But we've only watched the first one. The first one, the 4K looks amazing.
Yeah.
Mine should be arriving tomorrow, so I will be watching that one tomorrow. So.
Yay!
I'm excited to see that.
I want to watch the TV cut of it because there's 3 versions of the movie on there. There's 2 versions of the movie on there. There's 3 discs, but there's 2 Blu-rays and 1 4K.
Mm-hmm.
On the second Blu-ray, it has that alternate TV cut that's like 8 or 9 minutes longer.
Oh, really? I didn't know that. So that's pretty awesome.
One of our friends, Pop's Movie Dungeon, he told us there's a special feature with Bryan Cranston on there talking about how he worked on Alligator.
Yeah,
and there's like a whole behind the scenes of him like working the alligator's mouth and everything. Pretty cool.
Wasn't Kane Hodder?
Yeah,
he used the alligator.
Kane Hodder was he was inside the alligator suit.
We were trying to figure out the scenes, but we couldn't really tell. Well, we think we know what scenes it might have been, but there's really no footage out there of him talking about it because it's such a controversial thing.
Yeah, because they didn't credit him in the movie at all.
Really? Oh wow.
Kane Hodder. So that's why he's actually in the second movie.
Is he really? Oh wow. Okay. Now I can't wait to check that out, but I need to order part 2 as well. So
awesome. I hope we see him at a con someday so that we can ask him, hey, what scene were you in Alligator?
Yeah, we
in
can
the
ask
suit.
I love Kane is such a nice guy. Did you all watch his documentary he did From Hell and Back?
No, I haven't seen it yet, but I've heard awesome things.
Hey, I'll tell you this. I was surprised. I was not expecting it, but it's an amazing documentary, and you find out a lot about him. But two, I cried because like some of the stuff that he went through, like he tears up in it. I cried. I was like, I'm not supposed to cry, and I just so. But yeah, it's highly recommended. Anybody who watched To Hell and Back, the Kane Hodder documentary, I think it's fantastic. Ricky Hogan says, I love that Fright Night poster behind you, Justin. I love that artwork. Yep, I love Fright Night. So got that coming up. That's actually going to be my next retrospective and memories stream. We're going to be doing that with Born to Be Rad. So
that's awesome.
Yeah, so Fright Night. I love that. My buddy says, love the Halloween 3 set. So he loves that. He loves the figure set. So, and then he says, Justin, we need to go to Target soon. Yes, we need to go to Target soon.
Yes, love Target.
Brian and Coco, I thank you for burning my wallet a little bit more because I'm gonna have to pick that up. So
yes,
thank you.
Well, it'll burn it up a little less than eBay. So there you go.
That's true. That's very true.
I thought we'd never get it.
Oh. And then my buddy Lewis said I got the Toxic figure today. So
nice.
So, but yes, awesome. And then Metal Madness says I used to get Night of the Demons and Hell Night mixed up. They both have a great atmosphere, so I will say that they have a very, very cool atmosphere. Both Night of the Demons and Hell Night. So especially like the mansion setting. So
yeah.
She loves mansion setting movies.
I do too.
Oh, Hell Night. That's
the Linda Blair one.
We have a poster of Hell Night actually.
Yeah, we got a poster or one of our last cons.
Yes.
Of Hell Night.
That's okay. I get all the movies mixed up all the time. I always think I thought Witch Trap was Witchboard, and you're like, no, it's all the same thing.
Well, they put a disclaimer on the DVD.
So hey, that's something.
Yeah. Oh yeah. But yeah, I love mansion setting movies too, so that's one of my favorites.
Me too.
And then Ricky Holden says Demons 3 is the weakest, but still a fun watch. I agree with that. So, but anyway, guys, before we wrap this up, if you guys have any more questions, please feel free to ask. Again, please go follow Brian Goes Blue and Coco too. I will make sure to leave all their drawing a blank. I'll make sure to leave all their links down below. But please go follow them. Subscribe to them. Go follow them on Instagram. Speaking of which, like, what are some places people can find you if they don't know who you are?
Well, I'm on Instagram, Brian Goes Blue. No spaces there. And then YouTube, Brian Goes Blue as well.
Mm-hmm.
But
and you're on Letterbox.
And I'm on Letterbox.
And so a lot of the stuff we won't talk about in our YouTube videos, we did a lot of like what we've watched, but lately we haven't. So anything that we do watch is always on Brian's Letterbox.
Yeah, it's always on my Letterbox. I log everything we watch just because it's cool to know to remember what you watched in the past.
Yep.
That's something I still need to do. I don't have a Letterbox, so I'm gonna have to get that.
Yeah.
But, definitely send me your Letterbox link after we're done with this, so I could put it down below.
Yeah.
But anyway, this was so much fun. I love the fact that we talked Witchboard. I love the fact that we talked about other things, though. That's what makes these chats so much fun. And yeah, I'd love to have you guys on again. So you guys are some of the best. I love talking with you.
Thank you.
Yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. But anyway, guys, this was so much fun. I can't believe it's almost been 2 hours, so it went by quick. Hey, everyone who watched, thank you for watching. Thank you for commenting. If you're going to watch the playback, I hope you enjoy it. Thank you for watching. Please remember to like the stream, guys. Please do that. Show some love, but also show love to these two awesome people right here. Brian Goes Blue and Coco too. Go follow all the links that I'm going to leave down below. They are awesome, awesome people. And I truly, when I say this, I'm so grateful to know you both. So
we're grateful to know you too.
Yes. Thank you so much for having us. It means a lot. We were missing you. We're like, we haven't talked to Justin in a while. So this was really fun.
Yeah. I think we're gonna have to figure out some other type of live stream to do. So I kind of have some things in mind. So we'll definitely talk about it.
Yeah, definitely.
Okay, definitely.
But no, it's always a joy talking with you guys and so much fun. So But we're going to wrap this up. Again, thank you everybody who joined tonight, and everybody who watches the playback. I hope you enjoy it, and thank you for watching. So just going to end this by saying, everybody, always be yourself, because you're amazing, you're beautiful. In with the positive, out with the negative. Go eat some Skittles, because I got some berry ones right here, which I love.
Yeah.
And do you guys have
right here?
What do you got right there?
Some popcorn.
Woo! Gotta love popcorn. But anyway, do you guys have any last words you want to say to people?
No, just follow us on YouTube, Instagram, Letterbox, and we'll follow you right back. Definitely. We're always interested in seeing new channels as well. So
and making new friends.
And making new friends, of course.
Yeah.
That's what it's all about.
That's exactly right. This community is amazing for the friendships. I always say that. That's the biggest thing, is the people that you meet and the friendships you create. So, but anyway, guys, everybody have a great night. Once again, Brian, Coco, thank you for joining this, and this was a blast. So, much love to you all, and have a great rest of the weekend, and have a great week coming up. And I'll definitely talk to you guys soon. So, bye, guys.
Bye.
Bye.